The weather is great, and so is my mood.
I bet the messenger bird is happy too.
This one is from Indonesia.
Let's have a look.
Dear Team Heo, I'm a 34-year-old woman who recently became passionate about writing. I've written a story based on my first love, but my husband thinks it's fictional. Should I come clean and tell him the truth?
That's a tricky one to answer.
She must be in a major dilemma. She's even reached out to us for advice.
It's a tough nut to crack. Still, this book will probably help. I'd recommend The Lingering Feelings from Waiting for Sunlight by Park Sun-woo.
What is the story about?
The first-person protagonist is a man. He's been with his boyfriend for 100 days. Whenever his boyfriend is away, he searches for a woman named Soo-kyung on social media.
So is Soo-kyung his first love?
Not exactly. She's a former coworker with whom the protagonist had a special bond. She's the first person he confided in about his sexual identity, but thinking of her stirs up painful memories he wants to erase. He wonders if it's necessary to revisit the past, once and for all, in order to move forward. So, he tells his boyfriend about Soo-kyung, saying he wants to reflect on her one last time by writing a story about her. The boyfriend says, "Sounds good," and goes back to his book, leaving him feeling both lonely and comforted. I've realized there's stories I can't share, even with the person I'm most honest with. And even if I manage to tell them, I must accept that my protagonist won't always stay by my side.
If your partner responds with such a curt reply after you've mustered up the courage to talk about someone weighing on your heart, it's only natural to feel that way.
Siti, if you love your husband, you may want to be honest with him, like the protagonist in the novel. But if your husband is the jealous type, it may be better to keep it as your secret.
My catch is Choi Ji-yoon's poetry collection, Spring Night is Ending, and the poem is too short. I'd like to read an excerpt from the poem In the Summer You Walk Alone. I'm a suicide survivor. When the sound of my father's halted call from years ago in the summer suddenly fills my mind, I too feel the urge to give up. A summertime in a daze. Yet somehow, the love that holds me back endures within my summer as well. The narrator admits there are moments when they want to give up on life, burdened by the guilt of missing their father's final call. But they find peace by recalling the love that dispels such dark thoughts. For readers, it likely doesn't matter whether the narrator is Choi Ji-yoon herself. When a writer consciously distances themselves from their work, it allows for more honest and liberated writing. Siti should feel free to write in the same way, without constraints.
However, when writing about your first love, be mindful not to disrespect that person.
In any case, the question of how to authentically weave personal stories into one's work is a challenge many writers face. I hope you take the time to reflect on it.
I encourage you to reflect on why you wish to write about your first love. I understand if it's simply to process unresolved feelings. However, consider whether you're using it merely as material for your work. Writing about someone else's experiences requires a thoughtful approach.
No matter which path you choose, trust yourself and give it your all.
May fortune smile upon your choice.
All right, let's continue our journey.